Foreign Minister, welcome to the program. So first, can I ask you the big picture? As your Prime Minister said, that he fears that you are being dragged into a wider war. Do you feel that?
We feel and we're afraid of it because the government of Lebanon, the Lebanese don't want any war. And we'd like to have peace in our southern borders. But the issue is, what's happening in Gaza definitely affects what's happening in Lebanon, because there are issues that have not been settled for the last 75 years. And so we have problems. Yesterday, what happened in Lebanon, it is an Israeli attack in Lebanon, in Beirout. Would there be a response? I don't know whether it is this, but the government of Lebanon would not make any response. We'll go to the United Nations and we'll have a complaint at the United Nations.
Okay.
Soon, sir.
Can I ask you this? The Israelis have not publicly confirmed it, but the U.S. has, told CNN that they believe that this is what happened. And, the Israeli government spokesperson, the advisor to the Prime Minister, has indicated that this was an attack on Hamas, not an attack on Lebanon, and not an attack on Hezbollah. So the question is, will Lebanon or Hezbollah, do you think, respond? And the leader of Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah, has been having a long speech this afternoon in which basically he said that it was blatant Israeli aggression and, quote, if the enemy decides to wage war against Lebanon, our combat will have no limits. What do you think is going to happen?
I hope and pray that there wouldn't be any response and that Israel would not do it again, because whether they said it or not, it came first on their news items, from different TVs, Israeli TVs, that they did it. And then there was a statement, don't say that. So anyway, what we want is that we don't want any escalation in the war. We don't want what's happening in the south to be spread to over Lebanon. We don't like a regional war because it's dangerous to everybody. Dangerous to Lebanon, dangerous to Israel, and to the countries surrounding Israel. Whether it is Syria, which kept itself a little bit as a government outside of the war, and whether also Jordan, because you have Palestinians all over, and you have people that they ideologically differ with Israel that will join the Palestinians in this battle. So a regional war is bad for everybody, and if Israel is going to continue that, and if it is Israel like what happened today in Iran is made in Israel, because there are in the Arab mind there are two countries that can do it, either the United States or Israel, and of course it is Israel in this case. So if it's going to continue like that, I'm afraid that we are really approaching a regional war, which everybody in the region would regret having it.
Mm-hmm. So that's your opinion about who did that in Iran. They are saying that it's a terrorist attack, and we will wait to see if there are any further details. But here's the thing. The more this happens, the more your region is on a hair trigger. And we've had the Iran-backed Houthis targeting shipping in the Red Sea. It just seems that the new year is opening with more and not less tension outside of Gaza itself. And throughout the last period of several months, Hezbollah and Israel have been trading fire. And the question is, just from your perspective, can you, obviously you don't want, as a government, to enter into a war with Israel. And, I covered the 2006 war. I saw what it did to Lebanon. And I want to know whether you have influence over Hezbollah. Can they be restrained from taking this any further?
Well, we always have dialogue. It's not like we boycott each other. No, we dialogue with them. The Prime Minister, I talked to him this morning, and he talked with Hezbollah all the time. I don't think, I don't know, the decision is theirs, and we hope that they don't commit themselves to a larger war. But we're working with them on this, and we have a lot of reasons to think that this would not happen. That we do not want, as Lebanese, all of us, we do not want any war. So, yes, it's not like we can order them. We're not claiming that, but we can convince them, and I think it is working in this direction.
So what can you say to the U.S., because you will be having talks with experts and Middle East advisors at the National Security Council at the White House? What do you want from them, given the fact that the United States is not the most popular in that region right now? It's viewed by a lot of people as enabling the Israel war on Gaza. And it's also viewed as not being able to have much of a restraining influence on Israel. So what are you going to seek from the United States that can make a difference?
Well, the only country that can make peace, really, with the help of other countries, but the United States is the leader, is for peace, if it wants peace. Yes, I mean, look, in 1975, in 73 and 75, Kissinger was the Secretary of State, and he did achieve a lot of peace and a lot of ceasefire at that time because of their influence on Israel. And they can do the same thing. If they read Kissinger himself, they'll find a solution for how can they do it with Israel. But you cannot leave Israel doing what it is doing now, because it is not a factor for peace. It's a factor for more hatred and more of the same in the future. We need really, after 75 years of war, since 1948, now it's time to try peace. We can always go to war if peace does not work. So let's try peace. Unfortunately, Rabin was killed and assassinated in 1995, and therefore the march for peace stopped. But I think there should be now a new march for peace. The only people that can lead it, the only country that can lead it, is the United States.
Let me ask you another question. After the slaughter of 1,200 people inside Israel and the kidnap of now there are about 129 still hostages inside Hamas, Israel has responded. And the authorities in Gaza say that 22,000 and more people have been killed since the offensive that started October 7th. Number one, well, what do you think the result of that's going to be in a situation where you say we have to have a peace solution or a peace settlement after this?
You know, I was with the World Bank during the peace process of the 90s. And I thought the Palestinians were happy to have peace at that time. I could feel them, that they are happy to have peace. And so were the Israelis as well. Unfortunately, it didn't work, you know. And now, 22,000 is 1% of the people of Gaza. 1% of the people of the United States is like 3.5 million. So, that's too much. Right? That's what Israel should think about, what they're doing. They are not making peace. I mean, this is not like, even if it captures all the leaders of Hamas, there would be new leaders coming. I mean, a few years ago, a couple of decades ago, there were different leadership for the Palestinians. Now it is Hamas. And in the future, who knows what it will be. As long as there is no peace, I think more and more violence would happen. And what you call terrorism, what the West called terrorism and terrorists would be, they are a factor for peace. Arafat was called terrorist. Menachem Begin was called a terrorist. And so is the IRA people were called terrorists. And then they became factors for peace. I think this is the way the United States should be working in order to achieve peace. Give peace a chance. After 75 years of war, give peace a chance, and let's see what happens.